And now, some of the common questions we receive from you, our viewers, will get the answers from our visiting scholar, Dr. Tariq Ramadan. Dr. Ramadan, one of the most common questions we receive is about the way in which the inheritance shares are said to be divided according to the Quran. It would seem that in some cases, women inherit only half of that which their siblings male siblings would inherit. How do you explain that, and how would that apply in our modern context?
You know, this is one of the points where we really need to have a wider picture of the whole situation of women. You know, we talked before about, you know, the discourse, but we also have to go very far in the social presence, in the mosques. I'm saying that we are in a state of regression, while in the Prophet's time, ﷺ, we had, you know, women in the mosque. We are losing all this. We have to come back to this overall and comprehensive understanding of the role of the woman, and also sometimes speak about rights and duties in the society, but not to start with this, to start with the being, and then to come with something which is a more positive and a better understanding of the role. And inheritance is connected to a philosophy of family in Islam, Islamic family, when there are duties on, you know, the man's shoulders, that he has to provide everything for the family. And this is why in the direct inheritance, you know, the daughter is taking half of the son. And this is within a whole philosophy. The problem that we have now is this literal, if we now go for a literal implementation of this, we'll see that there are injustices, because in many situations the men are not doing the job, the brothers are not supporting the sisters, and the family is not doing the job. So
you're saying that the reason why the women were given half the share is that their male relatives were responsible for maintaining them?
Yes, yeah, and this is quite clear. When a woman gets money, it's for her. And she doesn't have to spend this on the family, which is exactly the opposite of why the men get the money. They have, and this is a duty. So it's a right for a woman not to have to spend for that, and it's a duty for the man. So it's a whole philosophy. And as a Muslim, even if today we see our society is not working, I think we still need to keep it as something which is essential. It's essential to have the family as the center of the social construction, the social dynamics and fabric. So I wouldn't go for, oh, we remove all this and we don't implement. I would say we have to understand that these rules are for a specific context and promoting a specific philosophy. When on the ground it's plain injustices and it's not done.
Well, this is the problem then. If there's an injustice and I can see what you're looking at, here is a situation where women may actually be the breadwinners in some families. In that case, how does the traditional division of inheritance achieve justice? Or if there's an injustice, as you're noticing, not because of anything the Quran says, but because of our changed situation, how do you correct that injustice?
So this is a very important. You have Muslim scholars, they don't care about this. We have to implement the principles, whatever is the situation, and they are accepting, in fact, implicitly or silently, these injustices. I would say no. As it's the responsibility of the society, and the society is not providing this security for women, the society has the responsibility to provide a compensation. So we need to find a way to respect the principles, but also to respect and to achieve the principles of justice. Compensation from a collective, a local authority, helping the woman and doing the job of keeping the philosophy, respecting justice, and at the same time not forgetting the rules, because we want to protect this philosophy. And I think that this is not done. We just implement it literally and we don't compensate for women. We have now women with kids alone. Nobody is caring or looking after them. And then we say, okay, you are not going to get you will get half of the money. It's completely wrong. This cannot be the way. So a social responsibility, a collective responsibility of compensating and going along this process to help the woman to get the rights. This, I think, would be a way forward for us to have a comprehensive approach of the whole dimensions here.
Because I'm hearing of this for the first time, bear with me, I want to explore it a little bit further and make sure I understand it correctly. Are you proposing that a Muslim state can correct this imbalance by giving something like a tax credit or some sort of social benefit to women in such circumstances, so that whereas their brothers would inherit twice as much as they would, the social program would intervene to add something to the inheritance share of the sister?
In any situation, I am not even speaking about Muslim authority. I think that any collective authority accepting this, accepting the rulings here or implementing them, should look at the situation and case by case. And this is why the Islamic jurisprudence is very powerful. It's a very practical and pragmatical way. But we need the local level authorities looking at case by case. And if in this situation she got half of the money, but she's alone and there is nothing for her, or nothing in her family, nobody in her family helping her, the society, the collective, the community should find a way to support her needs and to compensate. It could be through taxes, it could be through social support, but this is something that we should do because this is the only way to get it right.
Okay, a very fascinating discussion, folks. That's about all the time we have for this episode, but we'll invite you to view every episode of Let the Quran Speak every week here, same time, same station. And we'll follow up our discussion with Dr. Tariq Ramadan on our subsequent show later on this evening. Check your local listings for show times and visit our website www.islaminfo.com.